I'm Dr. Uche, a practicing physician who's been coaching others to write and publish their biographies since 2013. The first autobiographies I brought to publication were for my dad and granddad, and those took more than 5 years and lots of mistakes. On this channel, I will show you the tools I use to perfect the process so that you can have your biography done in 6 months or less without the delays and mistakes. Remember to subscribe and share with your friends. Let's dig in. Hello, Dr. Uche Bookers, back here carrying on with my series about questions you can ask an older relative, inspired by the recent passing of a very well-known, accomplished producer who lived a really long and full life, and got me thinking about those of us who have older relatives, what sort of questions we could ask them. I've already talked about family tree, lessons learned, but today I want to zoom into something that we often take for granted, but that is also really important. Something else you could ask your older relatives. Stay with me. So today I'm talking about digging in personally. So if you have that 80-something, 90-something-year-old family member, you need to ask them, tell me about your mother. What was she as a person? What were her strengths and weaknesses? Tell me something about her character. Tell me something about her behavior. Tell me about her values. What lessons did you learn from your mother? Pretend I get a chance to sit with your mother. What am I going to see that is a very important aspect of her? So you want this older relative to actually help you encounter their parent. Okay, that's not something any of us would likely ever get to do, to get a chance to sit and talk with a relative who came way before us. But I think it's really important because it helps us to actually make sense of who we are. It helps us to feel we descended from human beings, and you feel so much better as a person, knowing the ties, knowing the things that made you to be in a certain way. I'll give you a funny example. I was told, because even though I am a physician, I have a bit of an environmental squeamishness, so I feel easily disgusted by things in the environment. And so around me, I tend to keep things pretty tidy because I get easily disgusted by filth and dirt and that sort of thing around me. And so I did not know. Turns out that is an attribute I got from my paternal grandmother. Apparently she was very squeamish. Now, I met her as a child, but I wouldn't say I spent a long time around her because my family moved a lot. I did not grow up around her in Nigeria, and I grew up outside the country. And so I heard that about her later, that she was a very squeamish person. So that's just one example. Examples could be more meaningful, more heavily weighted, right? It could be something more significant. You love honesty, you love straightforwardness, and you got that from someone. You practice what you preach, you do exactly what you say, and you learn that from somebody, and you have that attribute from someone. And so I think that in addition to telling us more about ourselves, it gives us a much better sense of belonging. Nowadays we talk about some people who are displaced and who just don't have a great groundedness. And I think knowing who you descended from helps you to feel that much more grounded. So helping a child feel so much more grounded and moving into the future, helping children who come way later understand who they descended from. So again, in a nutshell, an older relative can help you better visualize, better experience an ancestor you may never have had the opportunity to meet. You likely did not meet. basically. So you can ask them about their mother, their father, what made him tick, what made him successful, what did he struggle with. Tell me about his character. What did you like about him or her? What was funny about them, and so on and so forth. Okay? I will see you in my next video.